Morning, everyone. Hope you can see the charts okay. Sure. Start up as 9 as usual. We all know that. Just give it a couple more minutes and then we'll take from there. Don't forget, so the couple of new guys coming in here. So, so a couple of one face, just let them in. Okay, just start off with, as you know, you can post on the chat lines, a forum, interact. Nippy morning it is indeed. Certainly start with GBP, I've got it up here, Pietro. And don't forget you can post on the chat line and you can interact verbally. It's a forum, so please, if you're not sure of something, interact. Nobody gets it right all the time, and hopefully nobody gets it wrong all the time. So if we work together, like a democracy, if you like. Let's do it now. I'll just share the screen. What's the time now? Just coming up to 1:30. Just give it a moment. Okay, let's have a look. No, for me, that's the buy. The pound's weakened a little bit because the CPI came out slightly better than expected. So it looks like to be putting off interest rates. Don't forget. Hang on, wait till 3:30. Beg your pardon. 3:30. Sorry, 9:30. Oh, well done, Ivan. Good for you. Well, that's better. Let's get going. Okay, then sharing the other guys like the look of it, make sure you have it. But whichever one you use, make sure you've got one, because you don't have the wrong volumes, as we know. Just let these guys in so I can get the thread. Okay, so it's come back. It's tested the 50-day moving average. And that seems to hopefully get a bit of a bounce. If the trade idea was slightly higher than the market price, don't put a buy stop in. If you don't like the trade, ignore it. If you don't agree with it, that's the whole idea of learning. Some you might agree, some you don't. Some guys might think it's a short, then they go for a short, ignore the trade or ignore it altogether. That's up to you. It's a trade idea. Now, what's the reason behind it? Because it's clearly still in the strong zone. It has weakened a bit. That's from the fundamentals. I think AUD is still fairly weak, and I thought the chance of a bit of a bounce. It was tracked a little bit further down. So if you do like the trade, go in. If you're already in, well, obviously hang on in there. But if you do like the trade, you can go in 10 pips cheaper, a better price than the signal. So why not go in at market if you like it? You're getting a better price, better risk, better reward, etc., etc. Okay, so yeah, on my idea, not on yet, but a certain gentleman WhatsApped me this morning. I quite liked it, so it's a good idea. They put up this morning's meeting, and they agreed there's a chance some upside here. You got the stop protecting, you got your volumes right in case we're wrong. As you know, we can't get everyone right, but that's the idea behind it. I think that's for a buy. I'm going to go to the 4-hour, and you can see on the 4-hour. It's come down to this area here, and it held, tried to break through, and it seems to be holding. So as it tries to break through, it seems to be holding. So I thought that might be a trade idea to go long on. If you have doubt, stay out. So if in doubt, stay out. If you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. If you think it's a short, obviously that's your choice. It's just a trade idea. But more the point, I think what Pietro is trying to get at is he wants to know why we're doing it. And that's really the biggest point. Is it a thumb suck? Why? Or I just learned over the last couple of weeks of trading, we sell in that zone. Why are you buying it? Is there a reason? Am I missing something? That's why he's asking. That's why I want you guys to get to the area where you ask those same sort of questions. Here you are, Gerard. It was actually your idea. It's not mine. Well done, Gerard. Well, I'll see if it works first of all. But I liked it. I joined it. I'm in at the moment. And we looked through it again. And yeah, I think it's upside for those reasons. Okay. So if you're not in it, guys, well, you're getting a better price, clearly. Trying to get people to understand. The signal says get in at 10. I'm buying there is, and it's 9.50. well, obviously the better price, go for it. If you're shorting at 10 and it's 10.5, then clearly you go in at market. You don't put a sell or buy stop in because you're saying, I want to buy or sell at a worth price. That's not so, yeah. Whoa, John, you're right. It's a bit nippy, isn't it? Okay, so there you are. The details are there. Use the same stop loss and TP if you're going at these levels. If you want to go to calculate and work it out again, you'll get obviously a slightly lower risk, slightly higher TP if it is rewarded if it hits the TP. Okay, so there we are. I hope that's answered your question. We can move on. Another one, Euro NZD. That was 153 or 50-ish, around about that area there. Slightly better price. Okay, is that correct? Yeah, slightly better price. If you like that one as well, you can do it. If you don't do it. But it's a slightly better price. It's about 5 pips below on the buy price. So if you like it, there we are. Details are on the signals. Okay. See how they work out. We'll come and revisit this now. The VIP group only got a trade out yesterday on the CAD JPY. We got in on, if the guy's not the VIP group, you would have got this. So don't worry about it. What's that anyone? 96, I think it was, 596 the entry. It did quite well. It popped up here at one stage to about 35 pips profit. Some people, as it came off, decided just to grab it. Some people took it. It came back a bit, and now it seemed to be holding. Surged slightly in profits. The guys are still in on the VIP group. Well, I suggest hold. You got your stop loss. Too early stage to start modifying stop. But if you can start moving above this yesterday's high, above 30 or something, then you can get up to break even and see what happens. Okay. A bit, Marcus. Okay. We got out on everybody yesterday. Let's just check these ones. I think it was 2 or 3 went out for everyone. Let's see, where are they now? GS. Well, it's okay. Where's GS? There we are. 38. It came off quite nicely at one stage yesterday. It came right down to 331 at one stage. Then it popped up and got a bit worried. 345. Started flirting only about $3 from the stop. And then it came off again, and it seemed to close around about that level. So clearly can't do much about it now. The market's closed, but it looks like it's coming off, and I think the Dow's coming off as well. Yeah, the Dow came off from those highs a bit, so we'll see if that can come to the party. Lab went up. Some people took the profit. Came down quite nicely. Some guys modified the stop. If they're still in it, well, let's see what happens. Some might have already just taken it, but not too bad. Where's Love anyway? It was the just a second. But love. Where is it? Down here somewhere. 34.20. Don't think he got there. No, nowhere near it. So forget that. Okay. Anyway, I've modified mine. If I get taken out, it's going to be a profit anyway. See what happens. Okay, dollar yen. That did okay. It's popped up lately, but it did okay. We got in at 74. It went down. Where we on the put it on the 4-hour chart. It came down. Was this yesterday? 12 o'clock on the 8th. No, that's before. So it made a low of about, got down around about the 139 mark. Some guys again took it, some guys modified stop or whatever. But then it popped up a bit, might have triggered some modified stops, and it's come off again. So you still didn't hold it. I suggest you protect yourself, maybe get your stop to entry. Do not chase it now if you're not in it. That ship has sailed, but not too bad a trade. So that's okay. All right, so that's not so bad. WTI nearly hit the TP. Nearly, I think a lot of guys took it in the end. It got up to 76.70, 76.80, around about that level, just short of the TP. I'm assuming a lot of guys took it out, and that's it. If you're still in it, well, you're in a profit. Do not turn to a loser. Make sure you got your stop up to at least with the entry price. For goodness sake, don't lose on it, but just short of the TP, but not too bad. GS or GI, GJ, GJ. Okay, oh, so you mean, okay, so right, okay, so not too bad on the Western front. Let's get this out of the way, just what's going on. So not too bad. Not going to win everyone, but not otherwise we're not too bad. Right, GBP JPY. I'm looking probably a bit downside. I'm backing the yen at the moment against the pound, to be honest. I'm not. I know it's in the buy zone. I get that completely. It's in the buy zone. So it'd be right hesitant to send a trade to sell it out there because you get all of that. You just told us it's the buy zone. Why are you bloody well selling it? Well, I'm saying I think the yen is probably slightly stronger. Having said that, it's right on support. It is in the last 3 or 4 days making a little bit help in the fundamental. There's no breakout yet of that support area there, so I wouldn't be buying it now. I'm a little bit nervous of buying the pound against the yen at the moment. Oh, sorry, let me try this. Sorry, the yen at the moment, but at the same time, there's not enough evidence there to short it. So for the moment, I would be on the sidelines on that one. Okay, interesting name we got there. Dexter. Oh, Dexter's not that way. That's the name Dexter. Okay, so that's my opinion, my analysis. Leave it alone. Okay, when's it coming out? CPI, I thought it was coming out. Just check. Japanese yen, CPI, probably tomorrow then, because remember there, God knows what time. Just a second. Put on the week. I'll just copy and paste. Give me a moment. On the daily, I think it's coming out tomorrow. No. In tertiary index, Japanese came out Monday. Well, I'm doing the wrong day. That's why. Idiot. Exports came out. No mention of today, Friday.
It's tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow it is. So I'm filling around here with so much crap on my other, what you call it, on my laptop. What I'm talking about, I've got the monitor with the chart and the laptop and the other stuff. Everything's getting in the bloody way. And I can see it now. It's coming out tomorrow. Thanks, Ed. Uppers one, yeah. CPI coming out tomorrow. That could affect it as well. Okay, so they're very dovish interest rates, but never mind. We'll see what the CPI comes up with. So I wouldn't be doing that. Yeah, this GS local, yeah, well, obviously open up again today. Like Pick and Pay opens up every day during the week, but you can't get to the shop there till it opens. And the shop is open up at 3. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So guys, will it open again tomorrow? Bloody better do. The only time it won't is a public holiday or a Christmas day or something, or a weekend or whatever. Okay, so leave that alone is my take on that one. Euro, US dollar for a sell. Actually, I'm just going to copy and paste for everyone on that before I forget. That's the economic calendar. Keep it, save it. It's very important. There's many of them from different areas, but this is good, isn't it? Good as any. And I'll put the dollar index. We talk about it a lot, so I'll put that on quickly. So at least you got it.
Sorry, Roger, what CPI is coming out tomorrow?
Japanese.
Oh, okay.
I saw CPI, you come out tomorrow, okay? Put my number up as I got at the moment. Roger. Roger, trading support, that's me there, so you got that. Worldwide market of the weekends, just uploaded. No, weekends, Chris, yeah. Whether you're a Buddhist, Muslim, or whatever, most of this stuff invented by Christians, so Christians, religious holidays are adhere to, so they'll be closed on their own public holidays, like we have public holidays over here. And our markets might be closed, the international might be open, but the weekends are closed, yeah. Okay, no problems. Good stuff. But I think Bitcoin owns the weekends. That of interest. I think that's 7 days a week. Right, so I'll leave that alone. Anything else just have I mentioned? If I missed something, just remind me, tap it out there, etc.
Euro USD, please.
Oh, Euro USD. Yeah. The problem I have with that is the dollar. The dollar's been very iffy at the moment. It is, I think it's Wednesday, the interest rate decision. That's still a few days away. I get that. But it's so top heavy. You've got to remember, you've got to employ a lot of actual psychology actually in trading, because we're all come from the same fear and greed aspect. And you know what I think is the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole 5 days, much 5 days a week trading, it hasn't really been able to break up or down in any direction. I think the traders out there are nervous of buying at such heights. They're a bit nervous to sell it because it's gone up so much. So I think they're waiting for some sort of kick up the bum in a direction to go either long or short, and which I tend to feel the same. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people feel the same. You know what I'm saying? Are you a little bit scared to buy it? Well, if you are, maybe a lot of other people are. Are you still a bit nervous to sell it? No much confirmation, a little bit nervous. I think not so much about the euro. I think the dollar is a major player here, and dollar or euro. My personal opinion is a little bit overcooked. This I'm thinking it could be a chance for a pullback, to be honest. But there's no confirmation from the buyers or sellers to give me a trade idea to advise that you sell it here. And it's the range trade. If you're happy to range trade it, is it much meat on the bones? Not really. 40, 50 pips is not enough for me for the risks involved in case you get a breakdown. You get my point? So at the moment, I think it might be a pullback, but I'm going to wait for confirmation. Simple as that. Weekend is for looking at the charts. Exactly, Mr. Olivier. Okay. That's a good idea. If you're a really keen trader, that's when you spend your weekends analyzing and learning stuff to get ready for the Monday. That's when you know you're super keen. Because that's the problem with the world. Everyone says they want to make money. I totally disagree. Some people want to make money, most want to spend it. So they spend most of the effort in trying to find ways to spend it. And the least amount of effort is how to make it. They always look for the quick fix to make it, so they can spend their time spending it, which is quite understandable. Fortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Hey, what they should do is bring in a rule. The people like Buffett and these guys who love making money, make the money, and people like us who like spending it, spend it, then everybody's happy. Now, I think I'd get a lot of votes on that. Okay, so that's my opinion on that. Yes, it's my back to front sense of humor, exactly. Okay, so we'll move on from that. Okay, any recovery on this? Is that holding? Seems to be holding with the 4-hour. It seems to be holding, thank goodness for that. What's the other one? NZD one? Euro NZD, that is. Yeah, seems to start to try to come right. So let's see if something happens out of that one. Okay, guys, we'll leave it alone. Discussing that this morning in our own meeting. Look at the weekly. See what I mean? Right here, and it hasn't broken through. Look at the daily. Well, can't see much in the daily, so we'll leave that then. On the weekly then. See a bit better on the weekly. You see what I mean? So I think it's seriously overcooked. But how can I send a trade idea out to guys when clearly you see that? You know? So I think it's going to come back, but I've had no confirmation, and I'll back it up. I think it's overcooked here. I think it's going to come back. Look what happened. You get the point. So I said this morning to Clinton, I said, I'm pointing a gun at your head, you're pointing a gun at my head. Which way would you got to go into the market? Don't leave it alone. You have to go, and you got no choice. I'll probably look for downside. However, does that mean I'd suggest a trade on it? No. I think we need more confirmation. I'm trading this for a week or two, actually, waiting for this confirmation. Come back a bit with a bit of support. This could easily jump up here or come off. To me, it's not far 50-50. Maybe 55 down, 45 up or whatever. I like to look 65% probability. This falls way below it. I am going to be pretty scared of that. Look at gold in a moment. How many people want to buy it? How many people want to sell it? How many people LIAs? What do you guys feel? Do you think I'm being chicken here? Clear and a buy? Should I just come back a bit on the 4 hour? Good chance of buy back up again. Who'd like to do that? And you have to do a lot of thoughting for me to go in on this trade. I tell you, really arm twisting here. Yeah, they've traded before. You want to short it, Ivan? Well, if you want to short it, I can put it up for you guys. That's not too far away, so we'll have a decent TP for you. Let's do the daily to see what's going on there. I've made my case clear. I ain't doing it. There we are. What's that say? Make it around 16,000. There we are, the stop loss. But we didn't get there. TP. Way down here somewhere, I suppose. 15.2, that should do it. Yeah, I think it's a chance for pullback, but I don't see confirmation at all, and it's so volatile. You could put back 2 or 3 good trades by jumping the gun on it, because you've got to have very wide stops. We're talking here seriously wide stops. This is the micro. Remember, if you're going on the normal Nasdaq, that's the micro. That would be 500 Rand for 0.01. On the micro, well, it's only $50 per 0.01. So there it is. If you want to do it, that's it. I've stated my case. I'm not. But if you guys, it's your money. Remember, it's a trading idea suggesting you do what you like. It's your money. Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. I want to bring that up again. You're not overexposed in several trades. There's a big difference. Overexposed, you did it wrong, Chris. I haven't looked at it, but I'm suggesting what you mean is you're in enough trades, you haven't got enough free margin. That's fine. If you haven't got enough free margin, don't go in. It's the last thing you want is a margin call because you run out of free margin. Okay, very important. Yeah, big difference, Chris. Overexposed, you'll get a virtual clap on the ear from me. Trust me, I used to be a headmaster of a very strict boarding school in my earlier days, and I take no prisoners on that one. Overexposed means you're in big trouble. And if you do it again, I'll make you trade make you trade NGAS for at least a month. Anyway, you won't lose money. You died of boredom before you worried about that anyway. Leave it and guess alone. I'm just joking, though, guys. Know what I mean? I sent you death by boredom. Not a death by chocolate. It'll be death by NGAS. Excuse me. Joking on my own phenomenally brilliant humor. Okay, so if you want to do it, there, do something like that. But otherwise, okay, we're good. Gold. Gold might get a bit of a pullback. I see a bit of a pullback. Do I see a trade? No, I don't. Clearly, the up momentum, I think, is still in place. Only a fundamental can change that opinion at this stage. But I think it's going to be a bit of a pullback. I'd rather buy a pullback, trying to preempt a short position, not knowing how far it's going to pull back for another move back up again. So gold, yes, I want to buy it, but maybe how far is that away? Maybe round about here. And come back to the 1960 mark, ring a bell, let me know, WhatsApp me from the trading room, bring my attention to it. But I'll be looking to buy it right about there. I think it could pull back, but I'm not sure it will pull back. So to risk a $17 in a strong trend that might not occur, I just don't think the risk reward is going to be worth it. You're risking too much going against that trend. So finally, to answer your question on gold, buy a pullback or a confirmed breakout about 1980. If that occurs, you can target 2000 and hope you get a decent risk reward, maybe about a $12 stop or something. No, you should be out on that one, Chris. It should hit your TP. The 1980 was the TP, and it got to 1985, I think. So everyone should be out of gold hit your TP. If you're still in, modify your stop loss. Don't know why you're still in. Modify your stop loss and maybe put in 2,000 your renewed TP. You might get there. Okay, so any comments on gold? Okay, good stuff. Happy with that. Well, that's all I want to ask. Happy with the explanation or disagree? I might be wrong. I might have missed something. You know what I mean? One thing you learn this game is humility. You got to chuck your ego out pretty quickly out the window in this business, I can tell you. Okay, I mentioned GS, etc. Yeah, if it gets that, I think if it did, that would be a good buy. It might not even get there, but if watch the dollar, you've got the dollar index, watch that. If the dollar keeps on going up, it's a good chance of pullback. If it gets down to 1970 and the dollar starts weakening again below 100, we might be jumping the gun and buy it there for another move up to 2000. Have to keep an eye on that index and the yields. You haven't got the yield. You haven't got the yield. I'll put them on for you now. The yields go in the opposite direction as well. Don't have to go too much scientific technicality what the yields are all about. Don't worry about it unless you're really fascinatedly interested and you can Google it or ask or whatever. But the simple way to interpret it is gold and the markets tend to go in the opposite direction of the yields. Yields go up, markets, and gold goes down, and vice versa. There you are. That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I've been saying the last couple of minutes. Yeah. Buy a pullback. I think there's going to be a pullback. Yeah. But I don't think it's good enough to short it. Unless you're one of these adept scalpers who might take a $6 trade and hope for the best or whatever. That's up to you. But certainly not going to go out as a signal from my point of view. Okay. Someone mentioned UNH the other day. Who the heck was it? Somebody, I don't know. No, wait for that. Disney, I'm keeping an eye on. We might get one on Disney. That's Farney's. I quite like this one. If I can get an entry. No, I think I keep missing it. I do see downside. Netflix is soaring. They're really, really pushing the competition out the bloody way. And this is one of the competitions. So Netflix, be wary of. Didn't have quite they've been doing the turnover, the profit margin wasn't quite as good like Tesla, with margins being cut, etc. So it came off a little bit, but still it's quite a strong one. This one's a good chance for shorted at 90 odd if it gets there legally. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about this. A lot of talk about this BRICS currency, and it's catching the news. It's something new, something sexy to talk about. It fills the 24/7 channels. They're always desperate to fill it with something until Meghan Markle has an argument with Prince Harry, or somebody gets caught in a strip joint with a celebrity to keep them discussing the talking heads the next 6 years about nothing at all. You get my point. But most of the news has become gossip, really, bloody ridiculous. So they're trying to make a mill out of it here because they're going to fill the hours up. It's a while to go. I hadn't read that article. I assume it's a proper article. That's why you said so. But to bring them together as yet, them to talk at the moment. China and India are way ahead. They're like Russia for their resources. Brazil's a bit behind on that one. I'm not talking about their football, by the way. And well, we know about South African economy. People don't like change. There's a lot to go into it. So I'd say keep an eye on it. Might well happen, but I wouldn't get too panicky about it in the short term. And we're short term here. We're not looking to buy ABC and take profit in 10 years' time. You know what I mean? Well, we'll see if it comes about. There's an enormous amount of talk of it, then the news media gets bored of it and it gets forgotten about. I mean, how many days you get something on Ukraine now? So yeah, it's good knowledge, good stuff to have. But just bear in mind that putting the talking heads into action takes a lot of time. A lot of legal stuff, changing over currencies, extreme costs and that, the paper work. It's not the paper, it's the legal aspects going into it, but the actual printing the paper, changing the plates around. There's a heck of a lot goes into it. So yeah. Well, that's a lot of people talk about that, Ivan, because the problem is that the World Bank is the World Bank, but the major thing is the Fed, which is one bank, and they want to start getting a little bit of competition. It's too much. The problem with the world at the moment is too much concentration of power, too few hands. Probably you can turn around and say it's been like human history, and you're probably right, but it hasn't changed. I mean, we might have got cell phones and that, but the power is still power, it's still a human power, and there's most of power is concentrated in few people and few companies, something might not even heard of, where the real power is. We all heard of the heads of state like Biden and Ramaphosa and Rishi Sunak and all the rest of it, but that's not where the power is. The power is behind the scenes, control the banks, control the media. Those are the guys, the gnomes of Washington, you know, behind the scenes stuff. Some of you probably not even heard of. They're the real movers and shakers, and well, that's what a lot of people are complaining about. It's too much power concentrated, too few hands. I mean, in the entertainment media, it's 2 or 3. Well, I'd say probably a little bit more than 2 or 3 hands. That if you say the wrong thing at the wrong time, one call from them, and you're out of business. You cannot go to Hollywood again. You cannot go on stage again. You're banned, sort of thing. If you don't follow their narrative, it's not pretty. One says disgusting, but I'm afraid yesterday I agree, but it's the way it is, you know. No, the ZAR CPI came out, I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It's the interest rate decision coming out at 3 p.m. today. Okay. So will it be a quarter or not a quarter? So we'll see at 3 o'clock. Okay. Righty. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you want to discuss? Trades, don't forget to save your charts. I might to remind you guys. Right click on the blank part of the chart, go to templates, then click on save template. And then when it comes up eventually, put your name in there and press the save button. And when you lose your charts for some fat thing or whatever reason, quite simple, go to templates, and then you go to the one you saved, click on it, and you're up and running again. If you want to change charts, all you do is right click, go to properties, and you change it to your convenience, background, foreground, whatever you want to do, and save it. Simple as that. If you want any information about it, just go there, left click on the one of choice, right click, and then go to specifications, gives the details. You must understand what that means. Don't put looking at it, do what it means. Oh, bloody hell, let's look. If you pull back enough to even think of it. Yeah, I might have a point there. See, you may call that one out. I mean, you might have a point. Come back, test the 10-day moving average. I'm quite bullish on it. I think it's coming out next week when the Saudis are dropping the production by 1 million barrels a day. I think from 10 to 9 or something like that, million barrels a day. But if China putting quite a stuff into place, they might start pulling their act together. Not very well put, but if that happens, there'll be more increase in consumption to push it down. If that doesn't happen so much, then no, increased consumption will push it up. One way around, beg your pardon. Increase in consumption will push it up, plus the million barrel a day reduction in output will obviously have a bullish movement on it. So for me, I'm afraid to say, I hate to say it, hits in the petrol station, hits in the transport pocket, everywhere. I think it's got some upside. However, from a trading perspective, I'm buying it now. We just missed our TP on WTI, so guys are modified, might be out of whatever, hold on. Could get to the TP. I do expect some upside, but is it worth it? You're going to make it $2, even that's a bit tight for the stop loss, $2, to end up here for $2. You need it, if you want to buy it, you need to buy it down here. We'll look at it. I'm not saying you will buy it down there. Things might change, but it's halfway house. you're right in the middle. You're going from Joburg to Durban, and you're at Harrismith at the moment, halfway house. So you need a better entry. But yeah, if you 77.80, where's that? Yeah, about 77.80, round about that, or slight 77.80 or better or lower would be a better area to buy it. Yeah, my opinion. Yeah. All right. I do my strategy on the daily. A lot of people ask that, or do you mean am I a day trader? I'm not particularly day or swing or whatever. I do what the market does. I'm going to go and buy ABC now. I might be out by this afternoon, it's the TP, or it goes up quite a bit. I've modified my stop. I might have stopped out in the profit, or it's gone up. Something's changed its situation, so I've decided to close it anyway. Other times I'll be in a couple of days, sometimes in a couple of weeks, sometimes even longer. I mentioned joking about NGAS. Something about 6 weeks in that bloody thing. Depends. Now, going back to doing, let's say, an hour. You can do an hour if you want, but you've also, unfortunately, got to take into account being a retail trader, you've got the costs involved. Now, you hear all about these sexy bloody things on YouTube, a guy doing scalping on 15 minutes, etc. But the thing is, the guys are doing that. We call them proprietary trades, who trade for the actual broker or institution themselves. So they have a very different margin setup, and more to the point, very different cost setup, from virtually no cost to extremely tiny costs, because they work for the company. So they can take a 2-pip profit and still come out ahead. You take a 2-pip profit, you haven't covered your spread. So no, it's not going to work for you in that area. Number 3, don't forget, it takes a bit of experience and time to get the hang of it. You've got to be really on it if you're scalping. It's not a question of, you can go to the loo, and that's about it. Can't cook up a meal, you certainly can't go shopping. You've got to be on it. And then when you leave to go out and do something, or pick your daughter or son up or whatever, you've got to be out of the market. It takes a lot more experience than best to start playing around with that. But even if you got the experience, I'm just worried. I mean, let's take this one. We've got a 6-pip spread on them. I mean, they float back and forth. At the moment, 6 is going to 4, 5, or whatever. Now you're scalping 20 pips, and you got a 6-pip spread. You're going to get a lovely Christmas card from the broker saying, "Thank you very much. Will you do yourself any favors?" I think it's just accept the trades, get your knowledge, look at the fact that you can modify your stop. How long you're in the market, I don't know, but does it matter if you're making a profit? A lot of guys said, "I've been up 5 days and I'm going to take the profit." It's been a long time. But then again, you look at another trade, I mean, a month on a losing trade. They'd rather hold a month of losing trade, but when they start winning, they want to take it. That's all psychology. No. Give the trade a chance, modify your stop, and you do all right, and don't overexpose. I mean, I risk about 1.5%, 2% of my capital. Don't use the same risk. You've got at least 50, 60, 70 upwards in your account. And I chug along nicely. In fact, more than chug along nicely. This attitude, I put a little in and get to build Rome in a day. That's just, forget Facebook, forget whether you learn this stuff. No, build it properly and be consistent, rather than being hero today and zero tomorrow. That sort of thing. Yeah, unfortunately, it's boring, I know, but you need a bit of discipline. I should be lecturing on discipline. I'm not the world's most disciplined myself, far from it. But unfortunately, most champions in sport and in industry or successful people put in the work, effort, and unfortunately the discipline as well to be successful. The holy grail of no effort, no discipline. Well, just hope to buy a lottery ticket, you might get lucky. You can put in EMA if you like. I've used sometimes the EMA, not that often, but I don't use the moving averages for crossing, uncrossing, or whatever, particularly, certain the shorter term ones. EMAs are normally for the shorter term ones, for when you see, let's say, a 5 crossing, 11 EMA, moving average, I'm going to look as a buy. I just find even the shorter term moving average lag a bit for me. I prefer to use them as filters and support resistance. Okay. Some people like the 8-day, which came up by Marnie, 8-day expense moving average. For when it drops below it on a long, you exit, and it drops above it on a short, you exit for an exit, really. But otherwise, I tend to use support resistance. etc., rather than use them as lagging indicators. Okay. Yeah, that's all BS. I hate to say it, my friend. They're selling you something. If I'm telling you, if I'm making that kind of money, first of all, I'm not going to waste some time posting on there and make everyone aware of it. You'll dilute the market. But what I mean by that, you got a cell phone. I'm going to go back 50 years in time and produce that. I reckon I'd get at least R1 million for it. So if I start handing it out and telling everybody about it, it's going to reduce the price. As the production goes up, it's come down to about 5 grand from $1 million. Why would I do that? No. And it costs some money and time, spending money in advertising. So why would I do that? I'd be happy in my yacht with half a dozen Vessel virgins feeding me grapes or whatever they do in these yachts. You know what I mean? So and I've often shown you my trades, and you see 1 or 2 reds in there. I haven't seen any of these guys on Instagram showing you reds, so they're making 100% hit rate. Well, anybody trading around here who's been trading for a month or more can safely say you're going to 100% hit rate of success. Well, if you do, keep it yourself, because once you've want to go into trade, nobody's going to sell it to you because they know you're right. Why would I? And it's going to go up and hold on to it. When you want to exit, you won't be able to get out the market because no one's going to buy it off you, because I know if you all want to sell it, Mr. 100% hit rate guy, I now know myself is going, I ain't going to buy it off you. You're stuck with it. So yeah, just no. It's you get the point. It doesn't deliver anymore. I think it tells enough to get the point. Okay, AUD, this is a good one to keep an eye on and get it back down here again. In fact, no, we're on the 15 minutes, sorry. We can get this back down here again, we can buy this again, even better, maybe down here. That's been a beaut for us, only once it failed. AUD, CAD to get back on track. It's BS, of course it is. I've plenty stuff on Instagram. Some going for a laugh, you know, it's complete dumbed down BS for the less, shall we say, knowledgeable people. Leave it at that. Right, okay, AUD, CAD. The CADs, I think, to the strength of it. I'm a little bit bullish on oil, as mentioned, Ivan Company. I think I'm slightly bullish. I've got the CAD JPY, which I bought. How's it doing, by the way? Doing okay. Yes, doing okay. Sorry, guys, if you're not on the VIP, put $2.5 grand, $150 more to be on the VIP. That was a trade sent out yesterday by VIP group, and they're about 30 pips in profits. That's okay. See how it goes. We'll check it again just now. AUD CAD. I'm expecting some downside here. What are you looking at? Yeah, look at that. For a buy. Okay, you're looking for a buy. Well, I'm not too sure about that. I'm not sure. It's in the neutral zone. Remember, if it's between the, never mind the black one, between the brown and the blue, that's a 50 and that's a 200, all simple. Between the two, you can buy or sell it. I prefer to buy the pullbacks here and sell the rallies here, unless it's undervalued or overvalued, then I might go against the trend. That's why I'm looking, maybe, hopefully shorting the NAS, because I think it's overvalued, even though it's in the buy zone. You get it. The trading room guys will understand that, but I can't send it out. So I'm not in the trading room, might understand why I'm doing that. So this is where we get interesting. I like it when it's happening in the trading room, because you get people with different opinions. We've done this before. We'll put a risk reward calculator up, want to buy it, obviously leave it alone, so leave it alone, and a risk reward want to sell it. It might be John and Mary goes to the buy, and Bill and Sally goes for the sell, and see how it works out. I'm leaning towards some downside, and you're leaning some upside. So we'll start considering it was your idea. That's what Vicky says, Sarah. The amount of these people that follow, of course, to send the product. You know what I mean? What's in it for them? They're selling you the product. That's exactly what it is. Well, it might be a course or brokerage or whatever to sell you something. That's why I see a lot of these adverts. You can open an account with about 200 rand. I don't like that, actually, because the guy's got no chance, such a small amount of money. Get some brokerage out of the poor bastard. That's right. Anyway, it's another story. AUD, CAD, by ourselves, Edwin. Anyone? We'll start off with Edwin. Anybody want to join Edwin on this one, on the buy? I'm for a sell. We'll come to sell in a minute. Anyone to do a buy? First of all, let's look at a risk reward for a buy. But not just for fun. You've got to go in live. You've got to believe it. Don't believe it, don't do it. We've got to have it. This is only 10 hours old, this candle. It's got a bit below yesterday's. So that's where your TP, sorry, your stop loss has got to be in the right place. You got to make it worthwhile. You got to aim up there. So it's going to be 99. Call it 90. Illustrate 91. Gets a 95. Should get a 91 there. There you are. Just about squeeze it in. $112 a micro. Who likes Edwin's long on this one? Okay. Okay, because I'll put a short one up in a minute. We'll do the long one. Anyone want to join Edwin on the long? Sorry, Edwin, looks like you're not getting a lot of support there, I'm afraid. Still do it if you want. There are the figures. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to do it, we'll put it up again. Now, for a short, we'll do it the other way around. So we do that without fitting on. Does that work? That's a bit of luck, isn't it? Yeah. Put the stop up there. Yeah, that might work. But that's a bit of luck, wasn't it? Just click the bloody button. It worked for me. Makes a change. I'm more inclined to a sell on this one. Now, before we get too cute, let's look at the weekly. Any problems on the way? No problems there. It's broken through the sell zone on the weekly. That helps my cause. Sorry, Edwin. Helps Edwin's cause, the 4 hours. Open my big mouth there. On the 4 hours, it's fairly strong. So it helps Edwin on the 4 hour and my cause on the weekly. Let's look at the hourly. It's holding on the hours. Look, these averages work on all of them. Look at that. Look at that. See what I mean? Nice to see in action, eh? Because everyone shows you in hindsight. Look at how it actually has worked. Right. Yeah. So it might get a better price up here. It might squeeze up. It's only 6 pips away, but 6 pips can make a big difference in the risk reward. But yeah, so that backs me up on the hourly. So there we are. 15 minutes. Does that tell me anything? It's a bit of resistance on the very short term. Do you want to get it a slightly better price? Do you want to try and get maybe let's say over 4 hours again, or the 1 hour rather? 1 hour was about 80. Do you want to sell at 80? Maybe sell at 80. Do you want to wait for a bit, sell a better price, or do you like it as a short at the moment? If you're not comfortable, that's fine. That's what I want you guys to get to, where I've got to trade in, I'm not comfortable with it, I'm going to leave it, that's fine. Or I'm not comfortable short, I'm going to buy it, that's fine, be working it out. But I don't want people to say, I'm going in and it goes wrong and then blame the person who sends it. It's advice, that's all it is, it's your business. HH and LL on the day of foresaw. That's interesting. What do you mean by that? Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want to put a pending sell limit on slightly higher? The 100-day moving average will go in now. What do guys like to do on this one? I need 2 more to do one or the other to put it down to trade idea. Edwin, I like it. Just because we're disagreeing on the direction, and so we were still saying for bring the idea up. Wait a bit, better price, leave it alone, what do you reckon? Pending selling, okay. Try that. So better look at that too. It only makes 95 a micro. Right, let's go back to daily. Where's all the moving averages gone? Oh, that's better. That way we can make the stop a little bit wider. Out the way. That's even better. Make it 110 bucks a micro. Call it 110 bucks a micro, 190. Yeah. That to me, it would be a more likely proposition. Why am I putting it there instead of there? Because you're getting in on the short on this one, and you've got to take account of the spread. So I put in, let's say, 85. It means it's got to go to over 90 to get in there. It might not reach it. That is the difference of the spread. That's why I'm putting the pending order there. And it's not that far away. Remember, you're not getting on the right, you're getting on the left one here. You're not getting on this, you're getting that. That's got to go to 80. It's got another a dozen pips or so to get there. That's more like it. Because the stop loss is above clearly above the 100 and the 200 and above this guy here and above this guy here. So the last time we're at that level was the 19th of June, which is a month and a half or so away. Well, no, it's not 1 month away, sorry. It's 1 month away. So, and it's to go to there, it's got to break this guy here, and it's got to break this guy here, and it's got to break this guy here to get there. Does that make sense? And the reason I'm putting the entry here instead of here is just to cover the spread. Because remember, you get in on the sell, you get out on the buy, if you're going short, and vice versa, if you're going long. Oh, that's clear. So it's a pending order, not to panic. You're not rushing, we're going to miss the trade, but not getting the trade put in. And we get in, you know, it's moving and kicking for us, we're missing out. It's a pending order, so we can discuss. Who would like to do this on the figures there? One that likes it. Nikki, you get it? Do you like the trade? You love this. Oh, I like. Oh, I love it that you say I love it. I always say to guys, never be stinting on your praise. Remind me of it just now. We'll certainly look at it. All right, Ivan said no. No doubt in that one. No. You like Anna Marie? Got out from Poirot, if you heard of him. You know, Agatha Christie's Poirot. He cooked Hastings a meal, and he said, "Voila! And please, Monsieur Hastings, do not be stinting on your praise." And it amused me in a very fake French accent, because of course the actor can't speak a word of French. Are you happy with Edwin? Oh, Edwin. Okay. So that's fine, Edwin. Cool. That's what we're about to learn it. Okay. Fair enough, Ivan. Okay, a couple of people like it, so put down the pending order. We can do that then. So that's going to be what we're doing 0.8980. There we are. Stop loss 9060, call it. And the TP 8839. And your risk is at 110. Okay. Pietro looks the bearish as well, yeah. And the 200 is pretty even, Stephen, but the 50 is angling down. And that's quite a long-term moving average. The 100 there is angling down. Okay. Okay, so there you are. If you want to put a sell limit on, there you go. I've got it written down. It's going to save it just a whole as well. Okay, so how's our Swiss? What I should post it. I like it on the weekly. It looks more convincing. Going to post on the company group, see if they're going to send it out. Give me a minute. Okay. Right, there that goes. See what happens. Okay, let's look up the VIP one, doing quite nicely. 96 of the entry. The VIP guys took it. Any of the VIPs take this trade? Because we maybe start modifying stocks. Any guys there on the VIP group that took that trade? Remember, if you got 150 or more dollars or 2,500 rand or more, and you're not on the VIP, just WhatsApp me and I'll put you on there. Okay. Look at that's good. I'll look at the dollar yen in a moment. Okay, I think you put it up to. Did you get into the price of signal, guys? Do you get it at 96, or do you get it higher or lower or better? If you got it about 96, I think you can. Good stuff. I think you can modify it to your entry. Then you take risk out and see if we can get some decent move on it. It's 30 pips away, so you should be fine in theory. All right. Anna Marie's a step ahead again. Showing the guys up yet again. I hope you all know I'm the chairman of the Men's Liberation Organization. It does not do to upset me. Just got to shut up a minute. I've got to do the sleep properly. Sorry. Got to put out the level. He's going to post it. Just have to put up my rather nonsensical sense of the ridiculous. Just excuse me on it. My weird sense of humor. Sure, that's right. Yep, that's good enough. Yeah, I know, it's a pity. That was a beauty, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a pity. Okay, it's quite simple. Put my number down again. It's Roger. That's a WhatsApp number, by the way, guys. Trading support. That's the details, and minimum 150 if you're a dollar account, or 25 for the poor South Africans. Obviously, or more. So what if I put more in? Well, obviously put more in. So if you have that, just let me know and I'll upload you. The reason is, it's not we're being snotty about having more money or not. It's the fact you won't be able to take a lot of these trades simply because you don't have enough money. And you know, if you've got 1,000 rand or less, often you have to go into one trade at a time. You can't do any more, and you might pick the wrong one. So that's the reason. And you'll also get daily economic updates. I read them, no one else reads them. I quite like them. It gives me some idea, and you'll be informed of straddle trades and other bits and pieces like that. But you get it fresh off the press. Sometimes they will go, it'll go on the other one as well occasionally, but you get them away. The other guys get it probably about 20 minutes later on the mailbox, something like that. Oh, no, you can be as many brokers as you like. Of course, it's got to be. Obviously. Can I go to a lawyer and say, advise me, and then take my business elsewhere? How do you feel about that? Obviously, but yeah. Can't go another broker. If you want to go another broker, then you get advice, trade rooms, and you go with them. Why come here? Occasionally, I had one yesterday phone me up, moved to another broker. I said, I like the person, nothing wrong with that, but why ask me? It's them. If you prefer them, why would you want to speak to me for? No. If they're so good, well, look at their signals and their whatever they've got going. Why come here? Exactly. I think the reason is it's because I'm so damn good looking. I just find it's my irresistible good looks that seem to happen. Yeah, activate it and get some money in. Don't try and trade with a few $100. I'm being honest with you guys. You've got to give yourself a chance. I don't know. Why do ladies always burst out laughing to say that? Maybe because I am living in a little bit of a fantasy land. That could well be it. Anyway, moving along. Yeah, Kadri. Oh, yes, sorry, dollar yen. I'm not even fine just now with the waffle. Yeah, so it's practically back up again. Let's go to the date. It's practically back up again. We got it at 75, I think, the trading idea. So it's a little bit low. Yeah, 75, we go at 56 at the moment, dodging around. Let's have a look at the dollar. Dollar's coming off a little bit, but not much. That's not it's a 1 hour chart, didn't tell you much. So yeah. If you like the trade, I prefer to join a bit higher up. I obviously hope it doesn't get there because we've got all the clients in it and selling it, they're in profit. I want to come off down again. Now, what I think finally means, look at that chart means, it's a bit of resistance to that level on the daily. It might be worth chasing. Let's have a look. Might be worth chasing. Some guys got out of it. Yeah, maybe do a new trade with just above here for your stop loss and take it down. No, you're definitely maybe down to here. Yeah, you get a risk reward if you want to chase it now. Finally, do you want to chase it now? Shall I put the calculator up for you? If you're in it, don't double up, guys. This is not a new trade. If this is for guys who might have missed it or taken it and taken a profit when it's down this morning at 139 and banked 70 pips and want to go in again. It's not for guys already in. Just don't remember that. So to spread it out, but I see guys doubling up. There's no point of a calculator. You're going to double up every time. We'll put it out.
I want to go in again, Raj. I'm just a little bit concerned about CPI of the yen tomorrow morning. So that's my main reason, because I did adjust my stop loss and I took a little bit of profit, not that much. So I want your opinion on re-entering with the CPI tomorrow.
There's a bit of a worry there. Yeah. I think it's going to come off again, but the trouble is because the difference in time, they open up in the early hours, which is only a few hours around the corner. And to go in now, expect to hit the TP with that coming up tomorrow morning is highly unlikely. So it might do, but I'm surprised it's a TP. The problem is, if it does come off, will you be enough profit to justify the risk with a TP up there, with a stop loss up there? Because if it's down here, for instance, and you have to take it, your risk reward then is completely out of kilter, if you see what I mean. And I think they're going to stay with the doubles. I don't interfere with interest rates at all. That's what I believe. Having said that, what effect it will have, that I don't know. It could strengthen or weaken. I don't know. I'm looking for a bit of Japanese yen strengthening coming either way. I think they're under value, and I think they're a little bit concerned about the undervalue. And I think the dollar is coming off a bit. Difficult one. I'm leaning towards the downside. I hope it's not because I'm biased because it's already in a short. But I'm sorry, mate. I can't make that decision for you. That's the trade with the CPI could bugger it up. As simple as that. Sorry. I'm gonna have to duck that one. To be honest with you, Fardy, I'd hate to say I'd still like it. He comes back and busts you. So yeah, I like the trade, but I'm a bit hesitant to say go for it. But I will say that the likelihood they will not be raising interest rates, and if they do, it'll definitely be in your favor because you're buying the yen. So the odds are going to be the same. They certainly won't be lowering it. I can't guarantee. I'm not allowed to guarantee it, but I'm 99.99999% below it. It's going to be the same, or they might go slightly hawkish with a small increase, which will help their cause. Okay, so it is more likely to down, in my opinion, for those reasons. So out of that little sojourn, you can take your pick of what you want to do. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Roger, just to
Yeah.
mention, I set that USD JPY trade as a pending buy or sell, sorry, pending sell stop, and it kicked in 10 pips higher, right, at 733 instead of 7 what we set it at, and I set it at the price that the trade room sent it out yesterday. Just to let you know, same story, like I think it was Gerard that time with that one trade that kicked him out when we were still all in.
Yeah. Okay. Which instrument? This one here.
Yes, the USD JPY this time. Yes, I set it at the price that was sent out at, and it kicked me in at. It set it off at 733, I think it was, instead of 7.
So you set a sell limit in, or you put a sell stop in. I don't know why you put a sell stop in. Should be a sell limit.
Yeah. Sorry, it was a sell limit. Yes, sorry, it was a sell limit.
All right, let's get the facts.
And it,
all right.
and
You put it at 70, and it kicked on the sell, and the buy didn't get to 70. Sorry, I want to make sure I've got the facts right, because you've got to take the spread into account. I think you know that. You're fairly experienced. But that might have got to 70. That's got to get to 70. Might spread on it. So you put in 70 on there, that might be 75. You're still not in. It's got to get a 70 on that one.
Okay, now I understand. Okay, I just was curious just to understand what happened. Okay.
You got guys, thanks for bringing it up, by the way, Pietro. You've got to take the count and the spread. Remember that. You might find you're still in, even though the wick hit that, because you get in on the buy and you get out on the sell, or vice versa. So it might go on there on the buy, but you're exiting on the sell, or I don't know which way around. I'm confusing myself now. You've got to take the count and the spread. That's why I put, let's say, a stop loss, sorry, a TP. I might put it there. No, I might put it down maybe 10 pips below it, just to overcompensate for the spread. The last thing I want to do is to get up there on the buy, and it doesn't get there on the sell, and it comes off. You wake up in the morning, it's down here. You wonder why you're still in. And you can see the wick was that figure, because you've got to take the count of the spread. That's the market maker spread. That's the commission, if you like. Yeah. As long as you all understand it. Yeah, we go back to Dexter, by the way. You need to bring your money across. Can't be another bro. Come across to us. Open an account with us and then come across to us. We'd love to have you. Oh, I like it. Brilliant. Thank you. And once you've done that, you've got my WhatsApp number. You WhatsApp me, and I will then send you all the details or whatever. And if you got the money as requested, I'll upload the group. Now, if you got my number, keep in touch. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Oh, that's fine. 10K, perfect. Right, well, perfect. A million Ks, but naturally, a billion Ks not perfect in this day and age. But no, that's fine. Once you've done that, let me know, and I'll upload you immediately. Good. Precious, I don't know the sex of Dexter. Could be either sex. It's an unusual name there, but I have a feeling it could be a woman, because and it's my good looks coming into it again. You're highly embarrassed if it's a guy, hey. You'll be a bit pushed, my friend. Sort of raw. You can get a no spread. You work for the company, or you got a very, very large amount of money. It's like anything else. I'm going to buy 10,000 cars off you. Give me a better price, you know. But I'm sorry, 10 grand is it's a lot to South Africans, but in a $1 trillion market, it's not that enormous. If you get my point. Oh dear, then it must be my brain, not my body. Okay, let's move on. I'm getting a bit sick of this talking rubbish. I also have made money because we have learned. Ah, Pietro, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Pietro, for that. As I say, all accolades are very much welcome. Thank you. Got a lovely one from one of the clients yesterday. Really nice. So he's been doing okay with the trade since I'm doing it. Good. Anyway, we don't. If you haven't been doing well, go and tell somebody else about it. Right, dollar yen. So it's doing okay. Fine. That trade's doing okay. GBP AUD. Let's go quickly back to see what the trade we've been doing this morning. We sent out. Jumping around this cat yen, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, get your stop up to protection, guys. You be jumping around a lot. It's better to get going. At least it's in profit. GBP AUD, giving us some jip, this thing. Giving us some serious jip. Well, let's just say, you've never seen Instagram. You've seen bad ones as well as good ones. This is not looking good. I just hope that 50-day holds and it bounces. Keep your fingers crossed. Euro NZD was at 53. That's giving us some jip as well. Well, let's just hope it holds. What's the 4-hour say? Hope it holds. What's the weekly say? Hope it holds. Yeah, it seems to be hovering around that level range, so it might bounce up again. Don't forget, it doesn't go in your way every single time immediately. It might go away in the end, but not immediately. So you got your stop out of the way, give it a chance, let it do its thing. By this afternoon, might be a profit. We've been pretty close to some trades, got close to stop loss, getting extreme nerves going, and then it ends up hitting our TP, not a modified stop loss, actual TP. So give the trade a chance, guys. Don't panic. Rather do what I do, keep it hidden down here. Don't look at it all the time, because if you do, it's going to start playing with your head. Okay. If you want to have a quick look to see how it's doing, you can sort of go, let's say the dollar yen. Look at this one here, and you say, how am I doing? You can look at it here. If you want to quickly check, you can always right-click there and go to trade levels. See trade levels there? Click on there, and it might come up. Oh, because it must have hit the modified stop. Solid. Okay, well, what else? No, all right. But it does. If you go to trade, you should be in by just clicking on the trade levels. There you are. My GB, I know on this one, a bit negative, but anyway, I'll put it up for you. GBP AUD, not looking pretty. There we are. Not looking pretty, but I've got my stop down here, and I hope it's going to hold, and I hope it's going to get back up there. So you can always check it there. You can move it back and down by dragging it up and down if you want to do it that way, or you can change in your toolbox in modified stop. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Right. Any questions, guys? Anything you want to discuss? Anything you missed? You all know what the moving averages are. You all know to save them. If you want any information, left click on instrument of choice, right click, left click specifications. Gives you the contract size, gives you your margin, the spreads, everything. Remember the spreads in pips. Sorry, in points, not pips. Divide by 10, etc. All the information is there. EURNZD. Look at that. Looked at this now, yeah. If you haven't taken, you like it, here's your chance to get a far better price as a buy. If I take it, I might take the bloody thing. So I get so involved with this, I get to take it myself. Yeah, I have to do so. Okay, EURNZD. Now it's come off, not looking pretty. I'm hoping the round figure 178 is going to hold. But Mundler, are you in this trade? If you're not and you like it, you're getting a far, far better price. Because there's a good chance that the round figure is going to hold, in my opinion, anyway. You're on a sell. Well, you're on a sell. Oh, okay. Well, you've been doing all right if you're on the sell. You've been smiling. What price to get in at? You want to modify the stop, I presume? Okay, what price to get in at? Because I think 178.72. Oh, really marvelous. Great. Well done. You know, fat profit. Well done. Okay. I think it could get a bounce around 178. So at least get your stop down to maybe 178.45. In fact, make it 178.40. Put your stop at 1.7840. Okay, Mandla. And then if it goes below 178, fine. If it starts bouncing 1.78, it might be a chance. It might be an idea to take your profits. Okay. Remember, you get out on the short in this figure, not that one. Yeah. I'll come to that in a minute. Okay, that's fine. You got that. I do, but I'll just give you a second here. That takes precedence, by the way. Euro GBP, so we can do that first for answer that question, Dexter. Euro GBP. What do you want to do with this? Sometimes at W&M, sometimes not that often, to be honest, but I've used them before. Yeah, no problem. Euro GBP. Looking for a buy order on the daily. It's in a neutral. You can do that. I'm inclined to upside rather than downside. Yeah, I am agreeing that the Dow. My problem is, are you going to get a risk reward? You take it down here, you will actually 60 pips. We're going to aim. They got a hurdle at 40, another hurdle at 60. You've got to take it up to here to make it worthwhile. It's got to break this guy and this guy. I would rather wait on this one before you bought it. If it comes back here and bounces, buy it. If it breaks above here, buy it. If it breaks below here, we'll have another look at it. But at the moment, it's a halfway house. Okay. I know what you mean by the double. You get a high, a low, a high, it's like a W, and it often comes off, and the other way around, like on the M. It's like it's almost similar to a head and shoulders. Sometimes you not that often. As regards bearing and engulfing, a lot of people do. I don't. What I want to do is I work most of my trades by having some understanding of the economic fundamentals, the strength or weakness of an individual currency. I then will look if it's the buy or sell zone, and then I base a lot of it on support resistance. And then what's happening now? I want to buy it. I know because I've done my fundamental knowledge that euro is stronger than maybe it could be anything. Let's say the NZD, and it's come back. The fundamentals are still strong. There's no economic fundamentals coming out to being released to stuff the system up. And then it comes back and it's here. I wait for it bounce off here, confirming, and then I put a stop down here. What do I mean confirm? Depending on the volatility, I might be a 1 hour candle, might even be 4 hours, and then I put a stop below it and I take the TP up there. You can add all sorts of stuff if it works for you. I like it, but I think most of it is the important stuff. It's support resistance, Fibonacci, confirmed candle, and understanding that Swissy, you're not going to be selling that right now. Even if you see the technical possibility, rather wait for a pullback and buy the Swiss franc. Okay, and you get certain here like NZD, it might change in a year's time, 6 months, I don't know. For the moment, I'm nervous of buying the NZD. I'm more looking to sell it, that sort of thing. No, you can you? Okay. Can you do that? How do you do that? I'm not that crucial on here. Well, let's right click on here somewhere. Right? How do I do that? Where's the spread on here? Well, I don't need any. You can work it out in your head, the spread, you can tell it. That's a 4 pip spread, 65 to 69. That's your spread anyway. Okay. Euro CAD long. Okay, you can do that if you like, guys. You can. I don't need maybe just practice. I can see the spread it, so don't worry about it. It comes automatic after a while. So if you want to do it, guys, you can. Euro CAD. The one thing I do like is the time, because then you can see if the thing's stuck or not. You know what I mean? Euro CAD. Yeah, I've said this before, guys. They're not going to make me chairman of the board or the CEO of the software department, the technical department, anytime soon. I'm not, I hate to admit it, a youngster anymore. And as I say, when I buy a new fancy phone, I have an arrangement to send me a week with a teenager, show how it works. So I get a free teenager for every smartphone I buy for a week to show me. It's a bit of a joke, that. In other words, if you're not sure and you're an old guy, go and find a teenager, they'll help you. Unless you're in IT. EuroCAD, you're looking for a buy this one, yeah. Well, it's clearly holding on the 10-day. It's coming down to support. It's clearly in the buy zone, and I like it. Only problem is, to be honest, going back to what I meant, the preciousness now about fundamentals. Canadian's not as weak. It's a lot weaker than it used to be a year or so ago. And I'm worried about the oil price. I'm thinking the oil price could go up a little bit more, might strengthen a bit more. It does, however, having said that, often used with the dollar because it's bigger neighbor on south of the border. That's the only thing that's concerning me. I remember the CAD JPY, you're buying the CAD on this one, and this one you're selling the CAD and you're buying the euro. But that apart, and I've done it before with success, so I'll do it again. It seems to me there is a possibility there. Just a second, did that trade come out? 1 cent, sorry, did I send that trade? Okay. It's I tend to agree with you actually. Trouble is, if you go for this, you're buying euro and selling euro. You get the idea. No, sorry, buying and selling the Canadian, the previous ones. The weakness definitely in the strong zone. Swing the 4 hour, any support there. Heads drop below here on the 4 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. See what I'm doing, precious. Get the idea. Ooh. I think I'll wait for some confirmation on that. I like the idea. I see a vision, and at this stage, I'm with you on this one. I just want a bit more confirmation. Do we have to wait for the 4 hour? Maybe the 1 hour. It's nearly 11 o'clock. If we can close above here or something like that on the 1 hour, I think we can pick it. It'll obviously be after trading finishes, but I think it's got a bit of possibility. It's one confirmation. So we're good on confirmation. Are we all agreed? That's good. Okay, right. If we have me on that one, what about my 2 trades here? GBP AUD. Keep your fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed. EURNZD. It's got the bounce, Mangler. It's got the bounce. Good for the guys in the long. Hope you, just keep an eye on it. Seems to getting the bit of the bounce. So keep your eye on that. Short yours in that, getting the bounce. That's good news for us. Sorry about you, Mangler, but for the other guys going in. But at least you get out of the profits. You're fine. CAD JPY for the VIP group. That's doing okay. That's fine. Let it run. You modified to protect yourself. US dollar yen hovering a little bit. I do if you took it, I doubt it, Barney. I'm getting more and more my doubts on it. Maybe just laugh it off and wait for Japan interest rate release tomorrow morning. Probably safer. That's convinced me it doesn't come off much. It's hovering. I think it's going to go pretty sideways waiting on that. So you're stuck in something that's going nowhere.
I was thinking of putting a sell limit pending in on 139,600. If we go back and edit the 100 days.
That might be a bit more intelligent. Yeah, I think that's on the 15-minute chart. Remember, go to the daily one. Didn't tell you much. Try the hourly. Didn't tell you much for back the breakthrough. Yeah, what happens if it hits that at 11 o'clock tonight with the release of information comes out a couple of hours later? I'm angling on the strength of the yen. To be honest, between you and me, I don't know, but I'm angling on, I think the release will strengthen the yen, which will be in your favor. I think probably, I can't say leave it and it bloody well comes to the party. But that's, all right, I'm going to get back on the fence. That's what I think, so fair enough.
Yeah, no, I'll revisit it, say 7 o'clock tonight, just to see what's happening. But in the meantime, I know the Japan would love to have the CPI 0.1 higher as they expected. So you know the economy, what it's like.
Yeah. They want it. Yeah, not CPI, the interest rate. They want that, but remember, they've got so much debt, one of the highest debt nations in the world. Okay, horrendous debt to GDP. So they don't want to screw themselves by having interest rates too high. That means they've got to now pay more on their already hectic debt. You know, it's like you're paying about 40% of the bond in your house. You're getting squeezed. You've got your rent to pay and the rest of it. And that goes up another 100 grand or two. You might get a situation where you might have to foreclose on the debt. Well, Japan won't do that. It's ridiculous out there. Whole world, earthquake, financially speaking. But what I'm saying is they don't want to squeeze that. They want to export their way out of it. So they might increase a tiny amount, not even 40%. Might be like, say, 0.15, 15 basis points, or even 1 basis point, 10 basis points, I don't know. That might be like it or the same. But even they might do it. 25 by Japan sounds quite a lot because of their debt problem. 25, when you've got billions and billions of debt, 0.25% is an astronomical amount of money to get in that point. We shall see anyway. All right. Okay, guys. Anything else you want to discuss before we close up till tomorrow morning?
Roger, I just wanted to ask, I didn't go into the trade earlier, but is it still a good idea to jump into the Euro NZD now that it had a bounce back?
Yeah, well, I like the trade. I'm suddenly shaving me out halfway through and said it's a rubbish trade. We only released it a couple of hours ago, so I still like the trade. The beauty is the trade signal's at 53. That's at 37. You're getting a better price. If you like it, absolutely, yeah. If you like this trade and you do see the upside, you're getting a 16 pip better price. What a pleasure. Use the same SL and TP and you got a better risk, lower risk and higher reward. Absolutely. You might even be able to get a slightly bigger position and still remain within your budget. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, Nikki.
Okay, cool. I'll keep the same TP and SL. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Well, you should do, Precious. If you don't understand the leverage, it means you're driving on the motorway without knowing what your speed is. We don't have a 300 leverage. It's 100, a 200 hardly everyone uses, or a 500. Now, there's a massive difference in speed. The leverage, it's basically a smaller deposit, higher leverage. I'll give you an example. If you want to buy I'd make it a 200,000 Rand motor car, and then do you want to borrow the money? This is borrowed money. That's what the swap fee's for. It's the interest rate on the borrowed money. And they'd say, I want from you 20,000 Rand deposit. Well, 20,000 Rand is 10% of 200,000, right? So you owe 180 grand, you put a 20 grand deposit down, you drive out, but you're responsible for that motor car. So your exposure is 200 grand, even though you only put 20 grand down. Now, 20 into 100 is 10. So that's a 10 to 1 leverage. You divide the deposit into 100, gives you leverage, right? So 10 into 100 is 10. 100 into 100 is 1%. 300, we don't have anyway. 300 is 0.3%. If you go 500 to 1, it's 0.2 of 1%. You get the idea. So you get very small margin. Now, if your deposit is tiny, it means you can get in with a big position for trade when you've got a small balance. The problem is you can be risking margin call because the exposure is so high. Any movements up or down, up is all right, just your favor going long. Any small movements down, your margin call before it's anywhere near your stop loss because you're in too big. So whether you have 100 or 500, I don't think it's really the big issue. It's more the fact you've got a proper balancer account, understand the basics of trading, and use a risk calculator. Because if your risk calculator says 500 rand risk, you go 0.04 for argument's sake, whatever your leverage is irrelevant. Once it hits your SL and you risk 500 and you've got enough free margin, you're going to be okay anyway. A lot of guys are going in because, again, they want this attitude worldwide of something for nothing. They want the shortcut, the quick buck, the holy grail of the pill that solves all. And they say, I haven't got much money, I'll increase my leverage. Well, they might get lucky, but they're not going to continue getting lucky. So in the end, they overexpose and they get margin call. And they're upset now. I was nowhere near my stop loss. My stop loss at 178. It took me out at 178.20. You bloody scammers. No, you're overexposed, not enough free margin. The loan was called in because you didn't have enough collateral to keep the trade open. Go to a couple of classes on in the evenings. You've got to understand this. Okay, most of the guys in Trade Room already do. I can't spend hours doing the teaching because it's not a teaching platform. It's making use of the stuff you've already been taught by buying Stock Market College course, if you get my point. Okay, so you must learn on that. But I can bring it up good. Well done, Precious. I can bring it up occasionally, but we can't hold trades up because the guy hasn't gone to classes. You get a freebie, you get the idea. But if you picked it up already, that's fantastic. Okay, guys, that's great. Catch you tomorrow morning. No, I won't. Sorry, beg your pardon. Clinton's doing tomorrow morning. I'm going down to KZN. So I'm going down there to KZN. So Clinton's doing it tomorrow morning. And I'll be back on for Monday. Okay, fantastic. Thanks. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Safe travel. Thank you very much. Good point. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Cheers now. Cheers now.